Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Firefighters Chalkboard. This is your host, Uncle Wayne, and guess what? We are not in Kansas anymore. This guy is, but I'm not.
Yes.
Uh, so tonight we have got the Fools of Oz on, and that is just so awesome of a chapter name. I mean, I just love it so much. I was actually trying to pick some video clips so I can try to spice something up to make it a little different, and just showed him when we were pre-gaming. I think everybody will like it. Um, so Keith, tell everybody about your chapter. We knew where the name come from, because somewhere over the rainbow and everything. But
Right.
let's just give it out what you got going on, everything else. The floor is yours.
Yeah. Yeah. So years ago, shortly after 2000, FDIC, we were kind of figuring out what this whole Fools thing was, and the Fools Bash going on down there in Indy. And we're like, man, this would be great to have, a chapter in Wichita and Kansas there. And we really didn't know any chapters around. Now, about the time we started, I think Mid-America Fools in Oklahoma City started real similar time, which was great because we were able to kind of work together. We'd already worked together on a whole bunch of other stuff. And so it was nice to kind of, as we grew, bounce stuff off them and ask how they were doing, and they'd ask us how we're doing. But yeah, about 2007, I believe, is when we actually started our chapters. We've been around a decent amount of time.
Yeah.
Um, have started with just some meetings and local training, and we started bringing people in. And of course, about that time, same group of guys that were part of our Fools chapter also had some money given to us or donated to us to do a training conference, and we kind of started Wichita Hot around that same time, which has kind of been our big conference we've done pretty well the whole time we've existed. Not quite all, but close. So that kind of came in about the same time. So that's kind of where we started from. Like I said, with the Fools of Oz, we were like everybody sitting around trying to think of a chapter name, and it just made sense. Like everybody always, anytime they seen us anywhere, we said we're from Kansas, they always did the whole Wizard of Oz thing. And initially, if you look at our initial logos actually had all the characters on it. But the Flying Monkey, if you're familiar with our chapter, the Flying Monkey was the one that everybody loved, and we got somebody put a fire coat on him and a helmet on him, and I can't remember if the first or second year we sold stuff at Indy at FDIC, like we sold out instantly, and so we kind of thought, okay, we figured that part out now. So that's been a great thing for us. We still sell a lot of merch at the Hot and the different conferences we help out at, and that's what kind of like our chapter. That's what funds our chapter for the most part.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, the logo's there. I love it. I love the flying monkey. I mean, I really do.
Oh yeah,
Um, it was actually, I'm sitting here looking at. I'm like, I need one of those T-shirts. And
yeah. And we thought about doing like a lot of chapters. We thought about doing like online stores and all that kind of stuff, but we're just firemen trying to go out there and get some training in and take some training and kind of protect the I don't know the tradition and legacy of our fire department. And so we get these good ideas, like all of us, and then it's like we don't really fall through very well. So yeah, it's been good. Wichita Hot, we're coming up our 20th year, right? Coming up our 20th year next year. So I take that back, 18th year next year because it was 09, I think we started. But anyway, at any rate, doing really well. We usually, like right now, if you don't follow our social media, we've done the call for papers. So if anybody
I
till the end of this
was
month,
just looking. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, if you want, any of the guys out there, Fools chapters, turn in your training, and if we can make it work, we'll get you up here and have you be part of the Hot. We typically open registration either April or May, depending on logistics, how we get everything settled out. But we have about 250 to 300 slots, usually fills in about 15 to 20 minutes. With the online thing we do now, it fills really fast, and then we're kind of set for October when the Hot happens. So it's been a great deal for our chapter, like that networking, just like the Fools Bash and Indy, just like any of those full conferences. I mean, all these chapters have such great, you can go up to North Dakota, you can go to Iowa, you can go to Illinois, you can go to anywhere and run into a Fools chapter that's holding a conference, and it's always great stuff. It's great networking, chance to meet people from other parts of the country, and then that's kind of how we started. We'd go to training, we'd meet people. Hey, you want to come to Wichita and do that class? And initially we're just doing individual. Hey, we're just gonna do a Tuesday night for the members, and we'll pay your
Yeah.
flight, we'll get you a hotel, and it just kept expanding from there until we did the Hot, and then after that we kind of had to basically set a limit just because it's so hard. Um,
Yeah.
it's just so taxing on the guys. Our chapter probably has 75 to 100 members at any given time. Most are Wichita. We have guys in Olathe. We have guys in Western Kansas. Now, Wheat State Fools has a chapter up near Kansas City now. Now Olathe, Topeka, area up in the Northeast. There's Garden City area has a chapter out there, and so we still have some members from the old days before their chapter. They just stayed with us, and then some of those guys split off to get their chapter going out there. So we still work together. I think next month we're getting together with Wheat State Fools at the SCAFA conference in Topeka, helping them out, deliver some truck company training up there. We usually do one in Parsons, a big conference, and not big, the a community college holds a conference there in Parsons, Kansas every year. We usually help out Labette County Community College. It's usually, I'll say April or May. This year, I think they moved to September, but usually April, May, and then we're just kind of locked in for the hot. We used to do a lot more, but the hot just got so big, it just taxes our members so much that it's hard to get, to commit to other classes and stuff. But yeah, it's been great for us.
Yeah, I was looking at it, and anybody that is interested, like you were talking about, for Wichita Hot right now is still got a call for presentations on,
Yes.
and it is showing that submissions are going to be open till the end of February, so the 28th. We got
Yep.
another
Yep.
week or so to be able to get some stuff in. If you're interested in presenting at Wichita Hot, get your stuff in.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, we're always looking for new classes and new presenters out there. I mean, um, it's weird because it feels like a small conference, but it's a pretty big conference. But we take a lot of new instructors in. A lot of times if, we do a lot of lecture stuff, we do like an FDIC format. So Saturday it's
Mhm.
hour, 45-minute lecture slots, and then Sundays all day, 8 hours hands-on. And so a lot of times somebody will submit both. If we don't know them, we haven't been around, haven't taken their classes yet, we'll have them come in and do a lecture slot and get a feel for them, get to meet them, get a chat with them. And then, the next year they submit, a lot of times we'll go ahead and throw in their hands-on class kind of thing, just because we have so many submissions and it's so hard to, you want to go
Sure.
through and pick the right one with the same Coke, and you want to keep it fresh. So when students come back year after year, they'll go, oh, I've already taken all those classes, right? So it's just kind of walking that line.
And it's keeping it fresh, keeping new faces going, just like you say. And 200 people is nothing small. I don't care what nobody says. You get
Right. Yeah.
200 people in there, you're doing something.
Yeah. It does real well. Like I said, we could be bigger. I mean, we could open it up more. It's just, we have of our classes, we usually do 10 to 14 hands-on classes every year. We've done as much as 18, which was just a nightmare, just because of training locations, if nothing else, just finding a place to do it. But of our 10 to 12 core classes, usually 6 are live burns. So we
Wow.
do live fire at all those classes, 5 or 6 of them, which logistically, again, adds a lot of work.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of what we set that cap. I'd love to have more. We'd love to be able to have everybody come. It's such a cool thing to get to meet people from all over the country and have them come enjoy the classes. And like I said, a lot of times they turn around a year or two later and turn in something to present. So it's been a great deal. And it's also, like I said, it's been networking to get us our instructors here in Wichita. We have quite a few. We're very lucky here in Wichita. We have quite a few instructors that teach all over the place. You have Isaac Frazier, Sam Hiddle, Scott Kleinschmidt, a lot of people, right? So we're very fortunate. Mark Mishak, we're very fortunate to have these guys that go teach all over the place, and so it also gives us a chance to meet some other people and get those guys out, in other places as well.
Oh yeah. That is great. I mean, is the getting ready for the hot is enough in itself. But if you guys got anything else, coming on before October that everybody could know about, or
Yeah, so we have SCAFA. I think the registration is over for SCAFA. It is in Topeka, Kansas. It's like the state capital fire chiefs conference. I'm bad on that. I can't remember for sure, but basically the State Fire
acronyms.
Chiefs Association have their big meeting in the Capitol every year, which is Topeka, Kansas, and they do a hands-on lecture. And this year, Wheat State Fools was asked to do some hands-on, and they reached out to us just for some manpower, so we'll be up there as well. So yeah,
Okay,
and
good.
actually the registration is open for that. I think it's very reasonable. I want to say, yeah, it's less than $100. It may be $50. It's really reasonable for what you get
Wow,
out of that. Yeah, it's
that is
great.
good. That is
Like I said,
real good.
our conference is a little close to 200 because of live burns, just the consumables and stuff. The way we set our conference up is we basically take all the class submissions and what the budget is for those classes, and then we figure out how many slots we have, basically 25 for this class, 20 for that one, and then we divide the numbers, and whatever that number is, that's the number. So if it's some years it's been 180, some years been 175, it just depends on price of consumables, price of flying people in, that kind of stuff. So
Sure.
it's a break even deal. Like that's our whole goal is to just, we have seed money that we got back in '09, and We want to keep that seed money in the bank, and we basically use that to get started for the year. Registration comes in, and then we pay that out, and hopefully it's a seed money at the end of the year. Some years a few thousand less, some years a few thousand more, but we try to keep it right there in the middle.
Well, maybe we can help you spread the word out and we'll get you a bumper crop this year. How about that?
Yeah, that'd be
Uh,
great. But yeah, that's our main thing. Like I said, man, early on we were teaching, we're helping out with conferences and helping out with different things about once a month in our local area, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri area. But you know how it goes. Your members start having kids. I mean, I was lucky. My children were in like high school by the time we really got going. But our younger members are having kids, have sports going on. It just got really hard. So we thought, we'll try to do the hot really good and Lebec County Community College really good. And if something else pops up, we can get the people to do it. We'll do it. Otherwise, we'll focus on those things. That's kind of how we've been doing our chapter last 5-6 years.
Good deal. Good deal. Yeah, everybody, once again, the big thing they got going on is the Wichita Hot. It's going to be October the 10th and 11th.
Yep.
If you've got something you would be interested in presenting, they still have a open call for presenters. It's going to be open till the end of this month. Click on it, send them a message. I'm sure they've got a link on. Actually, they got a link on their Facebook page for you to be able to submit the idea if you've got something worth presenting. And I can't wait.
Yeah.
I might
Also,
put one
if
in.
they have a chapter, if any of their chapters are coming to hot, if they want to bring shirts and stuff, let us know. We'll throw them at a table, and they're more welcome to sell their swag at the hot. Like I said,
That is awesome.
I know a lot of us. That's how kind of we keep the chapter going for the year. And so if you want exposure to a couple hundred people, feel free to come down. We'll throw you a table. You can sell some swag and buy some bars. Hopefully, we'll break even that way.
Man, you can't ask for no better than that. If you got another local chapter around wanting to come hang out and have some stuff for people to be able to get and everything else, that is great.
For sure. Those guys come to the conference. They like shirts, man. It's it's one of those things. When I go to conference, I like to bring back some cool stuff. So that's always the best part.
Keith, I appreciate you coming on tonight. I really appreciate you taking the time to explain what's going on with your chapter and letting everybody know about Wichita Hot coming up. Yeah. Guys, if you've got any questions, go to their Facebook page. It's the Fools of Oz.
Correct.
You can get on there. You can get them a message. Somebody will get back with you. And they've got tons of information about what's going on and also a lot about history of the fire department and stuff around. It's actually going through their area. I was actually really impressed with some of the stuff I was looking at as far as keeping the history up.
Yeah, that was one of those things we, our chapter started. Really, the training was kind of our focus, bringing good training to Wichita and trying to provide some, stuff for our members and the guys for our department. We kind of found this need. We had a call. We ran a call on a retired member. We had a large multi-fire fatality in 1968 at Yuengling Chevrolet. And our fire chief at the time had died. He was actually in command inside of the fire, the chief of our department. And our Medal of Valor is actually named after that fire chief, Chief McGoy. But we had kind of realized, talking to each other, that none of us really knew much about it. A lot of our younger guys, and I was in that group at the time, really didn't know much about it. And so we invited the surviving members of that fire to come talk to us at one of our training events. And he went through the whole, a lot of those guys never talked about it. Like that was the first time they ever said the words. And in the middle of all that, we're like, well, let's go, we need a memorial. We don't have a memorial. We lost, these 4 guys. We need a memorial for this. So we started to push for a memorial. And in the middle of that, we found out that some of the headstones for those members, or actually for other members in line of duty deaths, were missing. They actually had sunk into the ground and were no longer above the dirt. And we didn't, they'd been like that for years, who knows how long. And so now our chapter, every year, we have a list of all the line of duty deaths from our department and a couple of departments around us. And every year we get everybody together at the side of where the tragedy happened, whether the street corner, the place where that business once sat, or some place the houses are still there where we had members die. And anybody wants to show up can show up. We basically read off a script of what happened, how they died, what the lessons learned, what we did differently after that, if anything. And then another group on duty will usually go to the cemetery, make sure the headstone's clean, put some fresh flowers out, that kind of stuff. And so if you look on our page, just what you see is kind of the group together talking about what happened, and then the group at the headstone paying their respects. And that way, it doesn't, hopefully we'll never get like that again, where the stones fall underground or get cracked or you get damaged. They get damaged. We've been really lucky. If it's damaged, a lot of times we talk to the cemetery, they'll come out and repair it. They don't charge us or anything. They just come out there, and the one that was sunk on the ground, they put a big piece of granite down and set this old stone on top of a big piece of granite so it couldn't sink again. And so that's another part of our chapter that was part of that train tradition brotherhood, right? So that's kind of
Yeah.
the tradition side of it. So that's been another thing our chapter's done probably the last 5 or 6 years, more so the last couple, because we had a person donate, and one of our members did a great job getting all these plaques made. We put a temporary plaque up, put some flowers in it. 2 days later, we go pick it up, take it down, goes into a storage unit, and then the next year it goes back up for a couple of days. That way, if somebody didn't make the meeting or didn't make the get together, they can show up anytime they want at that intersection, read the little story, and then pay the respects. So that's something else that's been kind of a cool thing our chapter's taken on.
I like it. I think it's neat. It's important to be able to explain to the young people the history
Right.
of that department and the things that were sacrificed in order to be the way things are now.
Right, right. And it's easy, as guys leave, that institutional knowledge leaves with it. So that's what happened to us, is the guys didn't want to talk about it, and then they retired, and then nobody knew about it. So now at least we tell the stories over, every year, and hopefully 20 years down the road the kids are still doing it, and then they're still remembering those, and then hopefully not adding too many more on, but as they add on, they can obviously add their own line of duty deaths in there.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Keith, thank you so much for coming on tonight. Thank you for telling everybody about the chapter. Guys, the Fools of Oz. Find them out on Facebook. All the information about Wichita Hot is going to be on there.
Yep.
Check it out. So
until thanks for having me on. I appreciate you doing this for the Fools chapters.
Oh yeah, man. So till next time, stay safe, keep learning, and we'll see you when the next guy steps up to the chalkboard.